Coming back to football, in the previous game, you made a tactical change early in the first half when you brought Boris out for Len. What was your thought process behind that?
Yeah, well, we wanted to freshen up the team, get into a big game, because I mean, we've been asked to play an extraordinary amount of games in such a short space of time, like nobody else. I mean, I think we had 6 games in something like 17 days, and then we'd our last 3 games in 6 days, and every game was a high pressure situation. So it wasn't there was any game that we could relax. We couldn't, as good as the form that we were in, which we were, but everybody else was winning. 80 came on back and we're on a 15-game unbeaten run. Hyderabad were winning, Kerala were winning, Mumbai were winning to stay in there, Bengaluru had been on a 9-game unbeaten. So the run, we've eventually won 10 games out of 11, but we had to do that to go and get the prize that we all wanted, and that's such. So every game was a high pressure game. To answer the question, yeah, we want to freshen up, and we did that by bringing Boris in, by bringing Jitendra back in. Greg Stewart was available again, and so we had to, as I say, freshen ourselves up, look to go and bring all the energy we had with a number of injuries. Peter Hartley we'd rested the game before. Peter came back in. Greg was already in. He'd missed the game before when he was suspended. So we just tried to get some freshness into the team. Boris was desperate to play, as was Jitendra. He felt a little niggle, Boris, so I didn't want to take any chances. So, and Len's been playing anyway, so we just felt, bring Boris out, get Len in, and made us a little bit more solidified as well. We didn't want to take any more chances with young Boris with his hamstring. And because I felt the first 20 minutes were a little bit nervous. And I said to them, I think I think some of them were playing the occasion as opposed to play the game. Whatever was going to happen was going to happen. You had to concentrate in the game. And after that initial period, we settled down, we got to it, and deserved to win on the night. But that was the reason behind that, just not taking any chances with Boris and knowing that Len was ready to step in.
Of course, we have played Kerala a couple of times in the league as well as in the pre-season friendlies, and we have been unbeaten in the 4 matches that we have played so far. How big a challenge would Kerala pose in the semi-finals?
Oh, Kerala's a huge challenge. I've said this. I mean, I think the quality of the teams in the league there for everyone to see. And the top 4 teams have finished in the places as they should. We've been the best team in the country all year. That's been borne out by the amount of points we've gained, by the run we've been on, by all the records that Nakash keep telling me every game that we're achieving as a club. But when you come into a cup competition, which it is, anything can happen in any given day. So we're very wary of the quality of the opponents. Kerala are a fantastic team. We've played them twice in the season, you're right, we played them twice in the pre-season. I got to know Ivan really well, and I've got a great relationship with him. He's a wonderful coach, and he's an outstanding man off the field as well. So I know they're going to be 2 really tough games, and they know that as well, because they know the quality of Jamshedpur. So on any given day, I do believe that all 4 teams will feel they're capable of winning the playoff tournament. What's been great is that we have shown over the course of 20 league game that we're the best team in the country. That's not even up for debate. It's there for everyone to see with what we've done. But what we want to do is get into this playoff tournament is we want to try and do the double. We want to try and win that. Now we know it's even tougher now because you've got a bigger target as such, because you're the champions, and people get a little bit extra motivation from that. So we have to make sure we're at our very best, because if we are, then of course we can qualify and get to the final. And if we don't get to our best, then of course Kerala will cause you problems, because they've got very, very good players and they're a very good team.
In the previous match was Mohun Bagan, you removed Dinliana at halftime and put Dinpuia in. Firstly, is any injury updates on Dinliana and your impression of Dinpuia coming in and doing so well?
Yeah, well, we have I would suggest 5 or 6 possible injuries. We already have Farooq and Komal missing, as we know. We had Mobashir suspended. He's available now, which is good. Gives us some freshness in the middle of the park with Mobashir being available as well. Young Jitendra played through the pain barrier the other night because obviously we wanted to have the 2 centre-backs playing, which meant that I had to sacrifice Alex Lima, who's been the 2 games previous. Alex Lima's probably been our best player. He's been outstanding. But that then allowed us for Greg to play behind Daniel Shima. Now, whether we go like that, then that remains to be seen, because we have the flexibility to bring Alex Lima into the middle, who's a wonderful player. Jordan Murray's now getting up to full speed. He came into the game again, as he has done, and when he's 100%, Jordan Murray would start for any team in the ISL. He's such an outstanding striker. So we have options, but equally we do have a number of injuries. Liana being one. It obviously came out at half time. It hurt his shoulder. It fell on it in a previous game. So we had to be careful. We didn't do any more damage to that. So he's had a scan, and we're just waiting for the final report on that. And again, there's one or two others with, Boris is obviously a big injury concern, given that we're trying to protect him and make sure that he's fresh. A few others get bumps and bruises. I mean, Greg Stewart got some treatment the other night with the kicks and the whacks and everything he was taking in the game. Daniel Shima gets battered in the back every game and gets, I think, very little protection. Just an outstanding player. Jordan Murray came into the game, gets scythed down 3 times when he was going through because of his power and his pace. So we do have injury concerns, but again, I always say if somebody's going to miss out, then Puitea stepped in, as you've seen. He played in the game that the skipper was rested against Odisha. Puitea was outstanding at centre-back against Jonathan, an outstanding player. He came in at half-time against Liston, who is one of the top Indian players in the league. Puitea did very, very well. So he's shown that he's ready and he's up for the task. So again, we'll look at that and then we'll look to pick the best team available, because we're going to have to be our best, as I say, against very, very good opponents in Kerala Blasters.
Finally, a message for the fans. You're playing semi-finals for the first time. So anything that you'd like to say?
Yeah, to our fans, hopefully you've all enjoyed this season so far. Still more to come, but we're just delighted, every one of us, to be able to deliver the League Shield and show that Jamshedpur are the best team in the country, the best team in India at the highest level, and obviously everything that goes with that, in terms of Champions League and everything else, possibilities there. But what we want to do, we want to try and get you the double. To do that, we're going to have to play ever so well again, because there's great opponents. But for yourselves, thank you for the unstinting and the unwavering support. Obviously, Jal and Akash, the media team, get us the messages. They let me know as the head coach, they let the players know how much support there is and how much love there is for the team back in Jamshedpur, back in Jharkhand. And I said at the outset, I wanted to give you a team that's representative of you, the fans. Hopefully you see that in terms of how hard-working they are, the quality we bring, the excitement we bring, because we are such an exciting team. We score goals and we work ever so hard. So hopefully you're enjoying what you're seeing. And again, from our point of view, we want to try and take that to the next level again. To do that, we have to keep winning, but we'll do our very best. So thank you for your support. Really very much appreciated, and keep it going. Jam ki kelo.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure as always.